When did you discover psychology?
I would say that psychology was interesting to me in high school,
Hmm.
and that I really discovered it in full when I was in my degree program
Okay.
um, in college. So communications is considered, I guess, an offshoot of psychology, like
Hmm.
it's applied psychology or something.
Hmm.
So when I understood how much psychology influenced what I was learning, I started thinking more about psychology proper and getting into like Maslow and
Yep.
that sort of thing and understanding what's beneath the surface, which is that's really the basis of my interest is what's beneath the surface of your own perception.
Yep.
Because if you don't know, then someone can manipulate it. And it really is all about power. It,
Yep.
it really is, the weapons of our time. Like you could say we're in World War III right now, and it's a psychological war.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so. What do you think those who are waging this war want?
I think that the most likely thing they want is for them and themselves and their children and their families and the people that they care about, which is a very small group, to have just total power and control and wealth, and everybody else is just a stupid, hopeless slave who
Hmm.
can't do anything, can't think, can't struggle, can't argue. You put a picture in front of them and they go, "Yep, I accept that as true. Whatever you just said on the TV is what is real now, and I'm gonna go live my life by it." And it seems to be getting more and more effective. Like I'm very disappointed in people's ability to think critically about what they're presented through the phone and through the screens.
Yeah. So would it be fair to say something like, um, slavery has never ended. We've just found different ways to convince slaves that they
Yeah.
are not slaves.
Yeah, there's that old song, what is it, like 16 tons and what do you get?
Yep.
Another day older and deeper in debt. They tell you it's a job, but they're charging you more money than you're earning, and you're working really hard. You're not getting anything for yourself. You're not increasing. I've been meaning to make a video about value,
Hmm.
based on the idea that people say high value man, high value woman. I
Yeah.
want to talk about what value really is because it's all like psychology is economic, morality is economic. It's based on the basis of morality is who gets to feel good and who has to feel bad and when and where and why and how. Our moral judgments are based on if you do this, it'll be good or it'll be bad. And how do we know? Well, it'll cause these good or bad things. And why are those good or bad? Well, because they suck. If they're bad, if they suck. And what does it mean for something to suck? It's like, well, that's an unpleasant experience. You can go do heroin, right? And that'll be super fun, but it's a poor moral decision because after you get your fun, you go lower, and then you drag other people down with you and you're breaking into their cars and stealing their stereos, and it's more people have to feel bad if you do that. So the idea of value, um it's it's I'm trying to put those ideas together. It's the psychology and morality and all this is economic because it's the way that we create value directly from the environment and trade it with each other that has to do with the quality of our lives. And people are not doing that consciously. People are doing that in ways that they are told to do that. And it reduces the value. Like people are creating more value than ever with their labor, but keeping a smaller percentage of it. And they don't seem to notice.
Hmm.
It's like bees getting their honey taken away and they just keep doing bee things. It's like, you're getting robbed, right? And they haven't seemed to figure it out yet. It's like the amount of effort that the average person has, and family, handing down of value too. The amount that we've put into building the world and the amount that we have to show for it are not congruent.
Hmm.
So the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer have been, that's been, a central issue to my feelings about psychology, morality, spirituality, for a long time. I don't believe that we live in conditions where people can work hard and succeed. You have to be lucky or be in the right place in the
Yeah.
right time. Like I've worked very hard and done very well and achieved really, um, things that most people could never even like wouldn't even try because they wouldn't even think, oh, that's something that I could do. I told myself I could do it. I applied myself to it. I did it well. And then people, for whatever reason, for whatever political reason, said, no, you're not allowed. You get no rewards. And so the work kind of goes in and then disappears. And then we're just right back to age 12, where it's like, why am I doing the advanced placement class? Like, why am I not just checked out?
Hmm. So the whole math conversation was quite interesting, but when he was talking about this perspective on what the world is doing to people, I immediately thought of this great quote from C.S. Lewis's Screwtape Letters. To us, a human is primarily food. Our aim is the absorption of its will into ours, the increase of our own area of selfhood at its expense. But the obedience which the enemy demands of men is quite a different thing. Now, of course, with Screwtape, the meanings are reversed. The enemy is what God demands, and this, of course, is written from the perspective of a demon. But the obedience which the enemy demands of men is quite a different thing. One must face the fact that all the talk about his love for men and his service being perfect freedom is not, as one would gladly believe, merely propaganda, but an appalling truth. He really does want to fill the universe with a lot of loathsome little replicas of himself, creatures whose life, on its miniature scale, will be qualitatively like his own, not because he has absorbed them, but because their wills freely conform to his. We want cattle who can finally become food. He wants servants who can finally become sons. We want to suck in. He wants to give out. We are empty and would be filled. He is full and flows over. Our war aim in a world in which our Father below has drawn all other beings into himself. The enemy wants a world full of beings united to him, but still distinct.